In this video, we're going to have a look at some players who will be sort of there between 30 and 40. So we know, Pom, that we've got 2 picks in that range, 31 and 38. So you've put together 5 names. This is a big video, mate, because these are... We've got to be able to pick 1 or 2 of these. If you can get them both... If we can have the 2 names that we draft with 31 and 38 here, it's a big one. So talk to me. What are you seeing and what are the options for us?
So these guys all would be potentially in that 30 to 40 scale. We've got one that is... in some AFL phantom drafts at the moment, going a little bit higher in the guy called Zane True. But all these guys here should be there or thereabouts, slap bang in them 30s.
That is a blue or broad term if I've ever heard one. There or thereabouts. Just on a side note.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Just casually slipping it in. But I mean, the first guy is Eddie Ford. So Victorian boy, 189, 83 kgs, and he's a mid forward, so he can play. Got that versatility that you'd say Teague loves. He loves a versatile player, and we know that. Got all the attributes that we'd probably look for. He's real impactful when he does play, and when he gets his touches, real good return, good goal smarts, loves getting off the ground and taking a big mark of the year. And he's definitely X Factor. He's got X Factor written all over him. He's probably the opposite of what we usually draft as well, because his mid skills are his weak area. So he's not a midfielder who's a forward. He's now a forward who's learning the midfield craft. Okay. So someone's actually flipped the Carlton.
He's a bit of a specialist.
Yeah.
Like he's actually a forward.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it would be a rarity for Carlton to have a forward who you could convert into a mid. So obviously that's where he does his best craft at the moment. You can see though he's got just under 50% contested. He's a very tough little customer. And you can see here his contested work is elite. He's got a real high ceiling as well. Endurance is probably the one negative on him. But again, we have got the best fitness guy in the AFL. We keep saying it. So why not take a risk on these guys who are maybe undercooked?
He's got 3 categories where he rates as elite. That's very impressive.
Very good, yeah. I mean, he's
for
versatile.
A guy that's. And so why is he projected to go 30 to 48 as opposed to 10 to 20?
Probably because he's Victorian. So the Victorian players are going to be really suffering because of no footy.
True.
So you've got to remember, in historically, whoever is top 20 last year, usually at least 5 of them slide down, and then there's some kids who are bolters from nowhere.
Yep.
Now the AFL recruiters have got that problem. They know that one of these top Victorian talents is going to be crap. And some of them that were not as good last year will suddenly be superb.
Gotcha.
So I reckon that you'll see a lot of Victorians pushed aside apart from the most obvious choices.
Yeah, okay.
Their loss, our gain.
Absolutely.
Next guy has probably got the greatest name in the AFL draft, Zane True.
I like it.
He reminds me of like a presenter in the 90s on the MTV, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like he'd have a prank show. And we love Western Australians who are tough, contested bulls, as we can see.
We do.
Big contested beast of a bloke.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy,
He's
yeah.
a big boy.
Good composure, real clean with both hands and feet, got good footy IQ. His negatives are actually quite good for Carlton. He's not good on the outside.
That's fine.
We've got a few of them
Got
outsiders.
plenty of the outside boys.
Durability, he's had his share of knocks, but he is young, and the way he plays, I would expect that for a young body.
Maybe he needs the body to grow so he can withstand the... Is that what you mean? Like
Yeah. Well, you look at Cripper. Cripper was the same when he was a kid as well.
Yep.
Throwed himself around like, a blind bull.
Yep.
So eventually they do pick these knocks. But you can see very Cripper-like numbers. 24.9 touches, 6.3 tackles. It is a very Cripper...
It's a Cripps profile. Endurance, average. It's an absolute Cripps profile.
And you can see there, look, like... pretty much everything's good. He obviously rates elite. So it is something that maybe Carlton might look at and think, let's get another inside ball.
I mean, for a guy who's projected to go in that second round to be averaging 25 possessions, if you can get a guy in the second round that can do that, I mean, obviously that doesn't translate straight to the AFL in year 1. But, once he's 25, 26, 27, that looks enticing on face value.
I mean, it could be something that, Nick Austin's thinking about. I know a lot of people are talking about we need a small forward. Nick Austin might be thinking, well, next year we're meant to be going after an A grade inside midfielder. Why don't we just develop one?
Yep, fair enough.
Back our boys in.
Fair enough.
The next guy is a guy that I've always been a fan of, and he's sliding in a lot of the mock drafts, and that's a guy called Corey Durden. He's a real small forward.
Pure small forward.
Every sense of the word.
Okay.
And I get Betts vibes with this kid as well because he's really brings the team in.
Okay.
That is one of his skill sets. He's looking to give it to someone in a better position. He hasn't got that selfish streak, and I think that's something that our forward line probably needs.
Yep.
Especially with the keys we've got. You know, you see a lot of them teams, especially Richmond, they have a habit of finding Rewalt or Tom Lynch in front of the goal square.
Yep.
They look to pass it off. And this kid has got that good IQ, and he's exceptionally quick, and he's a crummer as well. So he plays his best football below his knees.
Love it.
Obviously, size-wise, he's small. Now, that it's becoming more of an issue, I'd say, nowadays. These small forwards, when they're too small, get knocked around heavily. There is the exception to the rule, but you look at them, everyone's getting bigger. Everything's getting bigger and better in the AFL. So that could be something that we need to work on. We need to put him some weight on. But apart from that, you can see his stats. His stat line's pretty good. Just under a goal a game, 3 marks for someone that size. He's pretty hefty as well. And he rates good for most of the ratings, if not average. So a lot of small forwards in this area.
Interesting.
So this is a proper small forward.
Very, very much so. The next guy you're going to talk about is probably, together with Corey Durden, are the only 2 names that I've actually seen and read and actually heard about. So tell me about this 4th guy.
Sam Berry. So Sam Berry, another inside midfielder, another kid that is a contested specialist. Now, this guy's going to has slid down a little bit more and more, again, suffering from the Victoria COVID
Being
situation.
a Victorian, missing out on footy, everyone else has had more chance to improve. Interesting.
He's got great hair as well. He's got great hair.
Love great hair.
Yeah, he's got that nice little bob going on. Consistent as well. So here's a big one. He is consistent.
Well, that is almost unique for a lot of these draftees.
It is. If you look at him, he doesn't have much flux about him. Very contested, real good in the clearances and the clutch. You can see there, 7.1 clearances a game. This could be someone that you'd look at as the future Ed Kerner.
Gotcha.
So I picked this guy up there in the mindset of Ed Kerner's probably the oldest guy in our midfield, probably the guy you'd say, who's coming through? Is that Stocker's job? Sam Berry might be that guy because you look, it's a very Ed Kerner-like start line.
And I mean, look, there is a reality too. You know, we back Liam Stocker in, but the reality is we don't know what's going on. We actually don't know what's happening with him at the time of filming this. If there is a situation where it's not going to work out, or we feel like it might not work out with Stocker, I mean, we would have to look at replacing him. He seems to have a similar profile to Stocker.
Yeah, you can see as well there, look, elite endurance as well. So it is very Ed Kerner-esque.
Yes.
You know, high work rate, puts all that intensity in, has played a lot of tagging roles as well in his junior career as well. So
does the team thing,
yeah,
does the hard stuff. I like it. I like what I've heard from him. I get a good vibe about this guy.
And then the last guy is the guy that you are drafting all day long. There's a lot of talk for Carlton about small forwards, a lot of names being thrown around. This is the guy. This is the answer.
Okay.
This is the answer to our problems.
Tell me everything.
Isaiah Winder. So this guy has it all. X Factor, specky little marks. He's clean. He's got that excitement about him. Highly athletic as well. 27.8 touches as well. He's ran through the midfield quite a bit this year as well, which has escalated it. 6.4 marks and just over a goal a game as well.
Crazy statistics.
This guy's an accumulator. He finds the ball.
Is he a midfielder that's turned into a small forward? Is that what's happening?
He's played all across there, but small forward is where he does his work, and that's where he's traditional. And he's the next Liam Ryan, I think.
He sounds too good to be true.
He's going to be that guy that climbs on the back of people. He's going to be that guy. If Eddie Betts wanted a son and heir, this guy will learn because this guy is X Factor. Okay. And I love it. He's nippy as well. And I think that's the one thing we don't have in pace is in the forward line. We don't have someone that can just run away out of trouble. And this guy loves getting into trouble, loves getting out. This is my number 1 pick. If this guy's there 31.
If he's there at 31, you are picking him.
Yeah, even probably above the sliders above on the top. This guy would probably be the guy that I'd be looking at.
Interesting.
I love a small forward.
Yeah.
This guy is it.
Okay. Well, there you have it. There are the 5 names for the players who are projected to go in that 30 to 40 range. I was excited about Sam Berry, but you're telling me there's a small forward available between pick 30 and 40 that averaged 28 disposals a game as a junior? Mate, sign him up.
Sign him up.
I mean, he sounds like there's a few deficiencies, obviously, but anyway, we'll see how it plays out. There you have it. Good stuff, Pom.